Today is Friday, and that is it. I am going to be thrown into homelessness. There's too much damage done here. Sure, I've worked a career, and the potential would have been realistic. I was operating far from optimum. I don't even question. I've relied on accurate information, and I have. Someone could, as a secondary source, be successful in this. There is a realistic market as far as a solid marketing platform. This is very powerful software. This is something that somebody, where there is a realistic market. It wouldn't have taken very much either. I don't even question $5,000 to $10,000 and continuing to progress. It's very realistic. It doesn't take that much. I just didn't have the resources. No. I've had 2 serious crimes committed against me, obviously. Okay? And God only knows how someone with the background that I come from and experience, I don't even question that I came down here. But I was looking at a population base of 1 million, 3 million, 5, 10 million people. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. It's huge. And I understand that I've fully validated that business experience that I have is very unique, and I'm extremely fortunate. I'm fully aware of something like this is unheard of. Until, instead of corrections and the highest level of honesty and integrity up and down the Chicagoland North Shore and Lake County, I come to an environment which I'm operating exactly in the same context. I don't even question. There was 100% negligence. What were you really seeking? Well, you let off after 100 PhDs in vocational psychology, and you were seeking that in professional career counseling. I cannot be any more honest than that. That's as honest as I can be. What do? They got busy falsifying the medical records. They continued to build up a medical case, but when absolutely none of this is medical, but all of it is. I wouldn't believe it, would you? You would look at me, and all I can, there's a very good reason. I have worked my tail off to disclose what's true about my background to further clarify it. It is well beyond the capacity for one single person to be able to hear professional career counseling from a PhD vocational psych. No. They're relying on falsified medical records, which falsified for sure. And I've continued to seek a correction. At the College Lake County, if I would have contacted them in 2004, I think I would have immediately get back up north to Lake County to resume what's been true for over 40 years. No match for the most powerful special interests and outright felonies being committed. This was not a misunderstanding. This was to maximize performance. I didn't know it then. And who is it to maximize performance for? Not me or anybody else. Them. That's the way to disqualify. I'm sorry. That's committing psychological malpractice. That's serious. I was never seeking education. I was even asking for something even more reasonable. I understand that my civil rights have been completely violated here. Okay? But still, even so, I did not put my eggs in one basket. I continued. This has been the most significant challenge that I have ever faced. And it was completely unheard of. There was no reason for this to occur. For me to be thrown into homelessness, which is very obvious, I'm going to now. And what instinctively is going to come up? Medical or psychological. No, it's none of that. It's is optimally getting me back up to what I've stated in earlier videos. That I will reincorporate very quickly. And there's a concept that this could be the most, someone from the Chicagoland North Shore with that kind of experience, look at good solid business practices and healthiest contact, unheard of. And you don't have to do anything. It could happen to you. It could happen to anybody else down here. That's why. That's why, in one absolute survival, I'm going to do absolutely what's necessary, no matter what it takes. You know, when I look at 2009, I had an individual contact me in the most professional context, wanting to partner up, and I extended the trust. I did believe it, but I didn't know he was on drugs. Yes, it is the highest level of expertise as far as private practice, chiropractor, and naturopathy, which I understand is a head-on match. I believed it was in success in that context mutually. I said, hey, give me a hand with some proofreading, and I don't even question the outcome would have been success. So I extended the trust. And for the following 3 years, this guy is literally, and I have to honestly say, it's serious. I don't know about you, but if I knew this guy was on drugs, I never would have had anything to do with him. Obviously, he used that career success by what I now understand now I toughed it out. And I was willing to do that. With the end result, I'll leave it up to you whether or not that's stalking. That is something I would never want to do to harm another person. We're talking about survival here. Yeah, it's partnering up all right. What's the end result? Laughing hysterically for whatever he accomplished. It's a Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde. Just endless maneuvers to set it up for me to play into. I was so careful, and it's all set up. I do not know what happened over his 50-year history, but I can say that's stalking. I'm sure it'll all be denied, every bit of it. He's going to deny everything. He'll try endless maneuvers, and I've got to say, no, I can prove this. He would approach me as to his context at the highest level of expertise creating success, while in reality, though, it was more of a raging alcoholic or a drug addict, which I didn't know any of that. I toughed it out. And it went on for 3.5 years, and it would continue on indefinitely until I finally put my foot down. Now the truth is going to come out on that one. I have a feeling we had a whole heap of trouble. I'm sure everything will be denied, but I have retained the supported documentation that proves he'd go hours upon hours about all this irrelevant personality substance, and my guess is it is about partnering up, and it's what went on domestically over the decades. There's nothing in our past to get me back. In any event, I've lost my internet, my electricity's going to be gone, my water's going, I'm out of here by Monday or Tuesday. I've had enough. Now, I'm not giving up. I'm just getting out of a situation that can wipe out over 40 years of history. In no manner do I fit an individual that would ever end up homeless. I'm used to the most successful giving me a hand to create success in the healthiest context. I'm a business professional to be able to gain experience in that context. And you know, it's a real toss-up whether or not it's education or experience. For me, I've been very fortunate in that respect. None of that's medical or psychological. None of it. Oh, it certainly is. I learned completely what was true about my makeup at the highest level. I'm very fortunate. And yet, that's how it happens. That's all it takes. I have to say, this is out here in Birmingham. and maybe the southern states too, there is so, I'm saying that these are much more powerful special interests in a political environment where I understand this kind of context goes on. Yes, creating disorders, yes. It's fully incorporated as norm. The first thing people think of is medical, but that wouldn't occur up in Lake County. Never. It would never be tolerated by the population base. Never. And the Scuttleland North Shore would never. That's the difference. It's outright. The most serious crimes are committed down here. We're falsifying medical records. Psychological malpractice is a fully incorporated norm. It's pulling the strings, endless maneuvers, climbing up to the next political, it's on and on and on. Where A is only A, but not in any manner. It's B, C, D, and it's 100% corrupt. I had to experience it, learn it, to be able to grow in that respect. And this is most detrimental. I did these videos for a very good reason, to be able to clarify to this extent. This was very valuable time. All of it was. All of this time could have all been success. And you expect a correction. You expect the truth. You would never believe ulterior motives. That's most unhealthy. It's all success. It's supposed to be. That's how it happens. As far as I know, by Monday or Tuesday, I better take what's very precious to me very quickly here. Very quickly. Emotions are powerful. Very powerful. I will take what is absolutely most valuable to me. I will make sure the truth comes out. None of it's medical. There's absolutely no reason why something like this ever should have happened. Ever. Just take the pictures. What few belongings I have that I highly cherish. It can all be taken away. But the thing is, did I ever commit a disorder? No. Not one. Not one. You inquire, and they get busy falsifying medical records. I was not seeking education. I was seeking the highest level of expertise as far as wisdom. I sure get that up in Lake County. Down here, impossible. Absolutely impossible. I've shared it all throughout the videos. I'm not going to repeat it anymore. I'm in absolute survival here over this weekend to gather together what few very precious. It's not even the items, it's the hundreds and thousands, if not millions of experiences I want to be able to cross over easily in the future. They're still there. They'll always be there. They can come out in a dream. I don't want to let go of that. It feels good. Yeah, I have to admit, it does feel good, but it's more there's so many tens of thousands of experiences bundled up just with that one memory. I don't want to lose that. That's why I've done this full disclosure about me. Absolutely, Lake Forest and the Scuttleland North Shore and the experience I gained in my career, 100% honest. Put the same person out in Birmingham or southern states, history. It will all be wiped out. And yet, put me back on the Scuttleland North in absolute survival. These are very, very powerful special. It is most unhealthy. As I mentioned, if that concept were to materialize, I'd be willing to be sacrificial in that nature. Absolutely. I did not know by coming down here this was an incorporated norm. And neither do I, and I believe the general population too, who is familiar with the background that I come from, could believe something like this would happen. I am in no manner someone that would ever fit the description of someone who is homeless. No. Yes, in Birmingham, it's normal. 250,000 in assets, and that type of experience is absolutely no match. It is psychology completely out of control, where growing up of over 40 years is all but nothing most serious disorders. Out here, every bit of it is the most serious of disorders. Now think about that. I'm not even involved in it. I'm not in that, but that's the only help there's going to be. As far as creating success and possibly getting some professional career counseling, you can't find it. It's way too corrupt. The political environment, you got it all in these videos. Believe me, I am sharing an experience I've built on curiosity to learn. And has it actually been psychological malpractice? It had nothing to do with the law of the intended purpose. I'm sure my civil rights have been violated. No, I very clearly communicated. I could not be any clearer. And this had nothing to do with medical. See, the most serious boundary violation is fully incorporated as a norm. You know, when yesterday I went downtown, and Cochran Law Firm, all over there's judges, and all about, judges' re-election. I mean, it is incredible how there is no justice down here. It's a direct conflict of interest. Is why you can't get legal representation no matter how hard you try. They've got the special interest and political money pouring in. I do not know the sector well enough to know, though I am speculating to a certain extent here. In any event, I better hold on to these memories I have real quick. What is absolutely most precious to me, I better bundle up really quick here. All I know is it is absolutely impossible from the highest level of expertise to even get professional career counseling with a PhD. They are much more interested in all the ulterior motives of help that is completely irrelevant. This is so out of control, the corruption. I am being thoroughly honest. I expect, I've had 2 serious crimes committed against me. It could have been a correction. It could have been the healthiest context of exactly the intended purpose. Unfortunately, it's way too corrupt. They're much more interested, I guess, in contracts and what everybody is doing for themselves. It's extremely selfish. This is something, I have to say, outright criminal. This is felonies. I understand the immunity is waived. There is no immunity when medical records are falsified and psychological malpractice occurs. Who did it? Go up to Graham Sisson, Bill Pryor, President Bush, and then who accomplishes, actually commits maximizing performance. I couldn't have said that a week ago. No. That's why I've done that's why I've really pulled out these memories to further refine them and share who I really am. As far as the professional context, well, I'm going to say it's obvious. I've got someone who operates on using the highest level of professionalism. What it appears to me is somebody gained control over me. And I have a feeling I will leave that up to you whether that's stalking or not. I have had a very good experience basing everything on honesty, integrity, and the healthiest context for over 40 years, I've had an outstanding experience. And I hold on to that. I never want to let go what that business experience that was gained in a top business management environment. I never want to let go of that. That's why I'm going to hold on to that honesty regardless. I understand I've had 2 of the most serious crimes committed against me, and there's no guarantee the concepts that I have to go. There's certainly a concept of obvious that it's going to be stalking. And this is very serious what this individual did. This is a little bit of partying. This is the kind of stuff that happens where I didn't understand the Dr. Jekyll, the Dr. Hyde, or that situations were being set up for me to play into. I wouldn't believe it. I thought it was exactly in that level of professionalism to create success. Obviously, I have a raging alcoholic or a druggie that decided, and that's where things get very unhealthy, manipulative and ulterior motives. If you're doing stuff like that, I can't even imagine internally the type of conflicts you have. I would never use maneuvers. I would never, in any event. I'm homeless. No way around this one. No, out with them out of debt. I can't say that. I haven't given up. You pick up the pieces, you move forward. You pick up the pieces and move forward. And if everything does come together and the resources are utilized optimally, I'll be back in that again. Quick. There's a lot of damage. And the biggest factor, did I injure myself? And everything I can tell is, you extend trust. You don't have to question what the intended purpose is. I wouldn't have to question any of that. Or do I? Everything I've stated is thoroughly honest. I don't want to harm anyone. And only absolute survival. Absolute survival. I'm able to put myself back in a situation where down here there's going to be absolutely no truth. None. This is extremely powerful special interest. And I'm going to say the corruption is 100% completely out of control. And I'm used to, up in Lake County, the truth does always come out, everything considered. It is, thank you for getting to know me. It's obvious now. There's no way I'm going to pull myself out of this without a little bit of help. Down here, every bit of it's medical, but none of it is. Up there, the truth always comes out. Everything taken consideration. I have never been a person that's deviated from the norm, ever. I would seek some individual counseling. I understand to be able to do what I've done here is actually very healthy. I normally wouldn't do it unless it came to absolute survival. I have no history of any disorders. None. I'll be honest about that. None of this is medical, but that's all it is in Birmingham. Up north, it's exactly in the exact context. Yes, I very clearly communicated 3 times a year exactly what I stated. I looked at every avenue. I wouldn't believe it is true. It's not that there's no jobs or anything like that. It's the political environment. It's the corruption. It's the most powerful yes. You're hearing it firsthand. It can wipe out everything to a completely irrelevant substance. Just like that. And up north, in absolute survival. Absolutely. You know the basis exactly why I'm doing this. Exactly. I wish I could say I'm really sorry it turned out that way. There was a correction and the healthiest context. Absolutely impossible. This corruption has gone on, I understand, for so many decades out here, and yet up north it's full accountability. The people would not accept the most serious form of boundary violations in exact context of the intended purpose. Absolutely, up north, this is considered psychological malpractice, and it may be challenging to prove. Very few people come from a background. I wouldn't believe this could happen to me. It should be no matter where I go, especially with that large of a population base. So again, I am just ruminating. No. At this point, absolute survival. I'm getting myself out of this situation here. No way. I should have immediately. In 2000, it would have been nice if it would have been in the context of what would be the norm up north. You're hearing it firsthand. I don't even question. You would think someone who's a human studies professor would absolutely no. I'll tell you. Call those phone numbers. 205 area code 290-4482 and 4490, and just listen to them live. Don't say anything. I'm going to tell you. These are extremely manipulative. Very powerful. There is absolutely no truth. They will prefabricate and they will falsify medical records to maximize performance. All of that's under the thumb of Jim Harris III. I'm telling you, there is no immunity in a situation like that. None. That's falsifying records. That's a serious crime. Absolutely not. They could come out with anything. There's many other human studies professors, too. And guess who I'm presenting it as to? I'm expecting for the truth to come out. I sure hope these concepts I've shared about when I get back up north do materialize to become a reality. I am certainly not a person that would ever fit the description of someone homeless. Absolutely not. I can tell you, I'm a psychologically healthy person. Come down here, and I can say I've had 2 serious crimes committed against me. That's as honest as I can be. Thank you for getting to know me. It looks like I've got a weekend to hold on to what's most precious to me. That's it. The damage is done. I've gotten so much help, so I can't find any. Can you? Thanks. My name is Richard Boss, and now you do know me very well. I've taken a whole lifetime. I decided to do it chronologically. I've gone over some of these areas, most likely 5 times, I'm guessing. Some of these areas, 5, maybe 10. I could never have said falsified medical records a week ago. Okay, that's a lot of substance. I worked very hard in absolute survival of what became most important. It's obvious now. The truth is going to come out. Thank you for getting to know me, and have a good one. Thank you for investing the time.